I love an indie game. I don't care about genre or style, I just want to experience the unique vision of a small team. And thanks to funding from the UK Games Fund, I found plenty to love at New Game Plus as part of London Game Festival. First up, I spoke to producer Fraser Davies from Studio Whalefall about Brine, their fishy love letter to both Cornwall and Doom, which will have you battling through pubs and more armed with a humble nail gun.
So, just how nasty are the fish that you're fighting in Brine?
They're real creatures. They're a bit of Cornish folklore for you. They're the bucker, which are essentially like a mythological creature. If you don't give them part of your catch, they'll make your life a living hell. And these guys have decided to revolt and take Cornwall back for themselves. So what you're fighting are kind of warped versions of maybe some tourist stereotypes and things like that the Bucker have inherited and are coming on land to try and take over.
And have you got a publisher?
We don't. Looking. We have a wonderful partnership with No Quarter. Those guys are fantastic. Joe Lita's fantastic. Working with Joe Vino, who made Brazilian Drug Dealer 3. I opened a portal to hell in the favela trying to revive Mataya. I need to close it. I have had to memorize that. But those guys are fantastic. They're helping us out massively with marketing. But publishers, if you're interested.
You can wishlist Brine on Steam right now, and there's a demo on itch. All that fighting fish works up quite the appetite, but there was no time for lunch because it was time to serve it to a bunch of impatient eldritch monsters in deep hunger from Respite Games. 3D artist Andrew Proudfoot told me how his team got funding and support from Transfuser to make this child-friendly monster game.
So through Transfuser we got funding to basically develop a prototype for the game, and it's led us to now where we've got this build ready. We're still playtesting it. It's not ready, but we're trying to get out to the public, get word out, and get people playing the games.
So, who decided it would be a great idea to set up a cafe that feeds monsters?
All of us. It was a combination of ideas. We had a short period of time to come up with a pitch for Transfuser, so we just sort of threw this thing together, serving monsters in a kitchen, fast-paced, and we're sort of just making up as we go, but it's coming along quite well for us. So
I like that Andrew said it's fast-paced. Not when I play the game, it's not fast-paced. I was very bad at opening the fridge, but you know what? I can play the game again. I can work on this, Andrew. Who do you think this game will appeal to?
We're hoping for everyone, but specifically younger audiences. I think we found the sort of cast of characters, they're a bit silly, they're a bit funny, a bit spooky, which always appeals to kids. So
Andrew and the team are currently looking for a publisher for their game. A Steam page is coming soon, and in the meantime you can join their Deep Hunger Discord. And now for something completely different. A time trial game that wants you to cut as many corners of its course as possible while pulling off flips and tricks. Showrunners is a work in progress by Mothlight Studios. Rasmus Skepstam is the gameplay programmer focused on making the game feel as fun as possible. The opportunities via Transfuser and Dundev have helped fund its development and refine the idea.
Showrunners is similar to the game Neon White, which is all about getting to the end of the level as fast as possible, but not necessarily completing it in the traditional way. You want to sort of find cuts in the level and sort of skip and explore to find how you can get the fastest time possible. It's all about sort of competition and getting the best time possible.
And you've got an audience satisfaction rating in there, and the report card you get at the end of a run. Is that influenced by how many shortcuts you take?
It's influenced by like how stylish you are through the level. So doing tricks, and we have this special feature where if you time an input, then you get extra points when you land the trick.
See, Rasmus was like, I'm not going to backseat game you, and when you're playing the game, there are these circles that come up, especially when, say, you're going to get a gust of wind elevate you, and I imagine that's when I should have been performing tricks.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly true.
You can wishlist Showrunners on Steam right now, and if you join the Mothlight Studios Discord to take part in playtests, you might even find your name in the final product.
Oh God, there we go. Right, there was some, either it was a giant who really needs a manicure, or there was some kind of Talon-esque activity. I might just be seeing things. Yeah, good. So tell me about Filter. What's the story?
Yes, so Filter is our SCP-inspired kind of planned anthology of horrors. SCP being Secure Control Protect, a shadow corporation set in a world where monsters are real and the general populace isn't aware of it. Filter is our kind of like inspired version of that. The Federation for Investigating, Locating and Terminating External Realities it's our shadow corporation that hunts down anomalies and hides them from society. So our first game, Filter Mont Blanc, is set in Mont Blanc in the Alps, and it focuses on arachnophobia, claustrophobia and anticophobia, which is the fear of failure, which comes into play with our main character Nick's backstory.
Filter is intended to be an anthology of games, with each focusing on a different location and phobia to tap into. So Red Rat Games have already got long-term goals in mind, and they've been helped by mentorship through Transfuser to understand what truly makes an effective horror game.
The key to making a great psychological horror game is timing and sound effects. Sound effects are one of the most important things, and just testing. You learn more from people that are playing the game at the time than feedback at the end, because most people are too embarrassed to admit when they're scared when they play a horror game. So one of the things we actually found out early on was that our scariest jump scare was falling through a wooden platform, which wasn't planned to be that scary, but everyone was shook up about it when we first showcased the game, so we was like, okay, more of that kind of thing works.
Jack and the team are planning to launch their Steam page and demo in the next few months and are hoping to find a publisher soon. I moved to the next desk over to try Erebus 9's first level, a horror game inspired by Dante's Inferno, but in space, where your sister's only gone and got herself missing, honestly. I had to ask lead programmer Ryan Ademi why he wants to scare his audience, and now I think we've formed our own Alien Isolation Survivors Club. I'm calling us the Locker Gang.
Why are you into horror games and making people scared? What does that tell us about you?
I'm actually quite bad with horror games. Like, I get scared really easily. I played Alien Isolation with my eyes half closed the whole time.
How much time did you spend in a locker?
Too much. It started out as a university project, so I thought, I've not done a horror game before. I'm terrible at, not screaming and crying at horror games, so why not make a horror game?
I live in horror. It's like it's my thing. Body horror, everything. That's where I take all my inspirations from. Essentially, Ryan, we spoke, and I was just like, hey, I can make this thing kind of make everyone scared about it.
What's it like seeing people play your game today?
I absolutely, it's so like humbling. You know what I mean? It's so I love this sort of stuff. Again, I'm very much. I obviously I care a lot about the art. I should, but just seeing someone like sort of indulge in something like this, especially that you've spent so much time making it and learning the craft as well. Because I mean, we never actually went into games with any sort of pre-existing experience.
Erebus 9 is going to launch a demo imminently, so make sure you wishlist it on Steam and don't miss your chance to get lost in space. And if you want to get support and funding to make your own game dev ambitions come true, search UK Games Fund and get pitching.